So you guys can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. Welcome to class 3 of PyCamp. Again. So, as we did last week, we're going to be reviewing our schedule at the beginning of class again. So on our agenda, we have the beginning of class, and then we have a last week class review. Reviewing what we did last week in class. Then we'll have like homework pickouts, which is where I pick out one volunteer to share their homework. And this time we won't be having our own homework review because I'll only actually open up the teacher copy of the homework if people actually have questions. So then we'll be learning about variables. We'll also learn about casting, and then we'll take a 5-minute break. Then we'll dive deeper into the subject of lists, which is data types as we learned on our first week. Then we'll have an actual Kahoot time. Then we'll be having practice pickouts, homework instructions, and then it'll be the end of class. A quick apology, it's that the stuff we learned at the beginning of today's class, they don't have that many connections to each other, and that's because these things were actually supposed to be learned last class. So we'll also be connecting these to things we learned about last class. So last week, what did we learn? Let's discuss what we learned last class. So any volunteers?
We learned how to print.
Yeah, we learned how to print. Anyone else? We learned a lot of things. You guys have to have at least something.
We also learned how to comment.
Yeah, we learned how to comment. Anything else? Yeah.
We learned how to do power-ups.
Okay, I don't.
About the.
Yeah, Gatik.
We learned about the arithmetic operator.
Yeah, Miss Losi.
Yeah, that was going to be mine, the arithmetic operators.
Okay, Sai?
We learned about the power-ups.
Power-ups? I don't understand what you're saying.
I think he's saying the squares and the squares.
Yeah, the squares.
Oh, okay.
Exponents.
Yeah, exponential. Okay, yeah, arithmetic operators. We also learned something else. Can anyone remember what that was?
Operators?
I mean, yeah, other than operators and
How
integers.
to add strings.
Yeah, strings. We learned about strings and like how to add them together. They also have operators. We learned about that. So that's a brief overview of what we learned last class. So, okay. Homework pickouts. We'll have just one homework pickout today, and I'll open up my copy of what the homework should be like in Rapo.it if people still have questions, but I'm pretty sure many people won't have questions because we're going to review them in another person's homework anyway. So if no one volunteers to share the homework, I'll just share my copy of the homework. But I actually don't have a copy available today, so I'm just going to code on the spot. It'll take like just a minute. Yeah?
Are we doing homework pickouts now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I want to do it.
Okay, Shreyans. I'll stop sharing my screen and you can share your screen. I recommend you open up the Word doc first and then you share the
I
already
have it on. So I have it. I put it on Ruffle and Word. It's okay to put it on Ruffle.
You're supposed to do it on Word and obviously.
Like for homework pickout, do we share our screen for Ruffle or on Word?
You should share your Word and then REPL, like after you finished sharing your Word. But if you want, you can just share the entire desktop, so you don't have to stop and share again. Okay, so we're gonna see Shreyans's homework. Can you zoom in a little bit? Okay, so define printing. The print function prints the specified message on the screen. That's correct, but you could emphasize it a little bit and add some details. It it prints the specified message. You could say it prints the specified message onto the output screen. Like, yeah. And you could say that it can handle integers, strings, and various other data types. It can also contain operators like, yeah. So commenting, it's something that starts with a hash and it does not affect the code. It is just something you want to say, but you don't want it to affect the code. That's a precise definition, yeah. You could also say for commenting that you have to put a hash on each line.
Oh,
And
on
yeah,
each line, I'll just put a.
yeah, you can't put one hash and type multiple lines. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. So number 3, operators. So operators help use data types. There are 6 basic types of operators. Mm, that's correct. Maybe you could have listed which operator we learned last class, but the definition's absolutely correct.
Mhm.
Um, what happens when you put 2 multiplication symbols? Wait, Shriyans, were you here last class?
I thought it makes like
Yeah.
exponential, like the power of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. The power up,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to type something. Okay, so can you scroll down to number 5?
Okay.
So what are the 6 types of general operators? Yeah, arithmetic, assignment, comparison, logical, identity,
But
membership.
we learned arithmetic, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Maybe you could have defined arithmetic because as we go on and we go on, we're gonna be using it like a checklist, right? Same for the data types. So define it. That's it. Yeah. So coding, that's the main part.
Okay.
Um, I
Oh,
don't
sorry.
see.
I
Oh,
instead of doing it there, I accidentally did it there. Sorry.
okay. Can you delete the gap because I want to see both the directions and the code at the same time, so I
Oh,
can explain a little
hold a
better.
sec.
Maybe if you shrink the thing, it would go back on its own. That's weird.
Mm.
It's okay.
I
Maybe,
recall. Oh, I got it. I got it.
okay, yeah. Scroll up a little bit so that I can see the code. Yeah, that's good enough. So, no, I mean the directions. You scroll back
Oh,
down. Yeah. So basically, the directions are simple. For those who did it, you should know what it is. So it first line, it's just a combination of 2 strings. So wait, scroll back down to your code. Okay, there's one tiny mistake here. When I said combination of 2 strings, I meant printing 2 strings on the same line. Like if you go to the
oh,
yeah, like Shriyans Pro plus high.
oh,
Like
yeah. I
if
get
you
it.
go to the example output, you can see that they're both connected on the same line, I guess.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was like that.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay. Once you open the code, I can do changes. Actually, how about you just open the code? Yeah.
Okay. Sick. Oh, I didn't share my whole desktop.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to more levels. Wait, I just made a new levels. Where did I do it on? Class 2, I think. Let me see.
Yeah, it was class two's homework.
Okay.
Mm,
What? No, it's not this one. What's that?
I think you meant to do class.
Yeah.
It's in stuff.
Oh yeah, I put it in stuff. I was gonna rename that class to homework, but yeah,
Okay. So, can you make changes while I tell
yeah,
you what
sure,
to do?
sure.
Delete the print high line, like line number 2. Just delete the entire thing. And then delete the parentheses in line number 1, like the end parentheses.
Okay.
Just put a space and put a plus, because we're adding 2 strings together.
Don't you? Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you know how to do this. Just
Okay.
and then put the high. And close up the parentheses, yeah.
Okay.
Also, the bottom 2 lines, they're bound to give you an error because you don't have any variables in them. So take out 2 and 3, line 2 and 3, yeah.
Okay.
So the next one, 2,
Sh-
you did it correct, but you did it wrong at the same time. So what you're supposed to do is print out an equation, right?
Yeah.
But you printed out the answer in the equation. You're supposed to actually do the math for it. So how first delete the 15 and the equal sign.
Okay.
Actually no, keep the equal sign. I'm sorry. And then put a space after the equal sign so it prints a little neater. Then move your cursor after the quotation mark and put a plus. Wait a sec, I'm sorry. I forgot something. And then put a parentheses.
What?
Like right after the plus put a parentheses. Like a
Oh.
double a parentheses again. And then type 8 plus 7. Try running it. Oh, sorry. Um, I think. Oh, this needs a little tactic called casting, which we're gonna learn today.
Oh. I mean, I
So
tried doing the same way, except it didn't work, so I just did that. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay. I know it was my fault. I should have assigned the homework a little properly. I thought we were gonna learn casting last class, but we didn't get to it, so I should have deleted that. Let's skip the second one for now, and the third one. I'll teach you guys those at the when we learn about casting. Sorry, I'm getting some messages. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, commas. Those aren't in the operators section actually.
Wait, for the third one, do you also need casting?
Yeah, both because both are the same thing except one of them's float and one of them's integer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll teach you about casting today. If you guys have questions on the second and third one, don't ask them now. Ask them after I teach casting, I guess. Anyone have questions on the first one though? Raise your hand. Yeah, exactly. But that's also different because you're defining it as a variable. I mean, I know it's correct, but I guess you have to learn that today. I'm gonna teach that today because we didn't learn that last class. Okay. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. if you could stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Tony. Yeah. Oh, do you have a question?
Wait, am I raising my hand?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. No, I
Okay.
didn't.
Okay. So now we did homework pickups, so no one has any questions, I guess, except for 2 and 3, obviously. But we're gonna learn about casting, so. So now let's learn about a little thing I like to call variables. So these help us store the integers in string, and it just makes life easier in the field of Python. It's a, a lot of times it's found in algebraic equations, like actual math. Like if you take algebra 1 or 2 or even geometry, you can find these variables in equations. And you can also find it in multiple other coding languages. There isn't a finite set of categories for variables because they're just like what printing. Printing doesn't have like categories. There's no types of printing. The same as that's the same as variables. So this will be easier once I open up repo.it. So let me open up repo.it. Oh, I didn't share my entire desktop. Okay, 1 second. Okay, that's great. Repo.it. That's weird. It won't even let me go to the taskbar. 1 sec. Let me try opening it and then sharing. Yeah, now it lets me open Google up. Wait, I don't like Google. Okay, I'm sharing Microsoft Edge now. You guys can see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is this?
Yes.
Okay. I don't see the red icon anymore, so I don't know if you guys can see my. Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
I can still see it.
No. You guys were looking at the wrong screen, I guess. Now you should be able to see me logging in. So let me just quickly make a new repo called classwork. Python, obviously. Okay, loaded. So now let's look at variables. So a variable can be anything. It can be a number or a letter, even a symbol. Actually, yeah, it can even be a symbol. But it can't be a number on its own. It has to have a letter along with it. Like a variable can be a. That can be a variable. A1 can be a variable. A blah 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 can be a variable. But just 24, it can't be a variable because it needs to have a letter along with it, or else it counts that as an integer. It can also be a symbol like the dollar sign or the @sign, but it can't be the hash sign because the hash sign is obviously it's the
Comment.
commenting. Yeah. let's see. Let's make a variable called a and make it equal to 19. And variable can be equal to any data type. It can be equal to a string, integer, a float. It can even be equal to a list, which we're going to learn about today. Couples and etc. etc. But it's basically printing without actually printing it, if you get what I mean. So once we set a variable to something, you can print the variable by just putting the print, and then no need for any brackets, no need for any parentheses, just the variable's name. And it printed 19 because a equals 19, and boom. Let's try a plus c. What does it print? It prints 10.76 plus 19. What about a plus b? Nope, because one of them is an int and one of them is a string. So it treats the variable like it's the same data type as what you defined it into. I don't know if you get that yet, but anyone not get that? Just raise your hand. Slowsy?
Yeah, can you use the percent symbol, or is because that is a kind of arithmetic operator, is that also a symbol that you use? And like, what about asterisks or plus? Any other symbols that can't be used?
I'm gonna see, like, now I'm gonna teach you guys what type of symbols you can use and what type of stuff you can use. Like A1,
Okay.
yeah,
Thanks.
A1 can be a variable. There's no error, so it can be a variable. 7, I don't think it can be a variable because there's an error. Look, if there's a red squiggly thingy, it's an error. Or it's likely gonna be an error. But let's see, this can be a variable. I mean, no, it can't. These specific symbols can be variables. Like, let me see. It has to be connected to a string. Like, a at can be a variable. Oh, that's weird. It isn't computing the at symbol. $8 sign. Oh. I'm sorry, I think I confused variables with casting. Let me just go look at the syllabus again. Yep, sorry, I confused variables and casting. You can't have symbols as variables. That can't be a variable. Whoops. Wow, I probably just confused you guys a lot. Basically, you can have any number and letter combined or a letter as a variable. But you can't have anything else.
You
can
can
have
do
also
underscore, right?
Yeah, but underscore isn't a part of the symbols. Like I know it's a symbol, but it's not like a symbol in the Python. According to Python, an underscore isn't classified as a symbol. But yes, you can put an underscore, and then you can put the underscore. So, any questions? Like, just raise your hand. Okay, I guess no one has any questions. Oh, Miss Lucy.
Yeah, sorry, I have another question. So if you can use letters, like, can you give variables names like more than one letter and have it be just one variable? Like if you want to say cost, right? C-O-S-T.
Yeah, definitely. You can have words.
Okay, words. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, good. Thanks.
But you can't have two words in one
Okay.
variable.
Is that a case where you would use maybe like an underscore if you had two words and you wanted to put it together into one thing because you wanted, I don't know, a really explicit description of your variable?
Yeah, that's the case you use an underword. I mean
Okay.
an underscore. The reason actually that's the point. That's why Python doesn't treat underscore as a symbol, because it treats underscore as a substitute for space, so that people can have more than two words in one variable name. So that's why Python doesn't treat underscore as a symbol. It treats it like a space, but it treats it as a string basically. So, any other questions? If not, we can move on to the next subject.
I'm making a like variable calculator.
Uh, okay. I'm confused. Is that a question or?
No, just a comment.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to casting. Let me go back to my screen. I'm gonna share my entire screen because I don't want to keep switching over. So now let's learn casting. So now we finally got around to learning variables. Let's learn something a little similar to defining something. So as you know, variables is defining a string or an integer, something. But casting, it doesn't define something, it redefines it. If you don't get what I mean, let's learn about it. So let's learn casting. Woohoo! And let me open Repo.it and we can learn it. And no, it is not related to fishing. I've always had people asking me, is casting related to fishing? Because don't you cast the hook into the water? And I'm like, no, no. You don't know how many times that question has annoyed me. So now let's learn about casting. So a variable is where you define something, right? And so that you can use it for later. A casting is where, let's say you have a variable 19 and you want to print that variable. I'm sorry, where is this? Oh. It printed 19. But what if you want to print it and make it look like it's a float? Then you can do this. So it now prints as a float. So basically castings where you have a variable and you redefine it. You can change an integer into a float. You can change a float into, you can change a float or an integer into a string. But the only thing you can't do is change a string into an integer or float. You can, but you can't. Okay, that sounds so confusing. You can change a string, like if this is a string, you can change this into an integer gladly. But if this is a string, you can't. Or if this is a string, you can't. You can't change any string with a letter in it into an integer or a float. So what you gotta do is type out the word of what you want to change. So for float, we all know that it's float. Integer, it's int. string, it's str, right? At least that's what we've learned so far. So you just have to type out the word int, str, or float, and then type out the variable you're trying to redefine. But you can only use this in a print statement or when you're actually defining something. Like let's say you have a variable a, and then you're creating a variable b. You can put float of variable a. Sorry. But when you're defining something, you can redefine something. So you can define a redefinition. It's super confusing. It sounds confusing, but it gets easier, trust me. So now if I print A, and then I print B, look. This helps a lot when you're trying to merge two things in the same sentence. Let's say we want to print, you see here? Let's say we want to print A plus B. A is 19, B is A. We can't print them yet, but we can print them when we do this. So we want to print the word A19, huh? So let's print A plus 19. Tell me, is that going to work? Just guess.
No.
Not unless you assign like a variable. Like you say a
is
equals.
right now.
No,
A is-
even if you, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Do you think B plus 19 is going to work?
No, because you didn't define b yet.
What about this?
Oh, but it equals like a letter, and a letter
Yeah.
won't work.
Exactly, but what? So you can't add a string and a letter, right? I mean, you can add a string and a numerical, right?
Yeah.
You can add a string and a string, right?
Yes. Yes.
Then why don't we change this into a string? Why don't we change A into a string? By using casting. Do you think it's gonna work now?
Yes.
Okay. Correct. This is casting super helpful. It's helped me a lot of times when I've done super complicated programs. Like so far, what we're learning is just 1% of Python, literally 1%. Let me, okay, let me just show you guys a program for fun because we're actually ahead of schedule. A little something I coded. So
After you're done showing us this, could you go back to the other page? Because
Yeah,
it's giving me an error.
really? Okay, let me just explain this first and then I'll show you the fun thing. Or I can show you that at the end of class because it could be like a fun thing, I guess. I'll show you the thing at the end of class. I keep saying thing, I should be saying REPL. Okay, any questions? Like, what's the question?
Okay, I got it. Mine says A19 now, because before it said error for me too.
Okay, I found my mistake. You can leave.
Yeah, okay, so this, I'll just show you guys that REPL at the end of class. It's not that important. I don't want to get sidetracked. Anyways, B plus string of 19. So now you guys know what casting is a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Any questions about casting, like the specifics of it? Just raise your hand. No questions? Okay, one sec. Let me just check the chat. What? What is that? Who put that in? Amuletic? What was that? Oh, oh, that's where you found the underscore question. Okay. Let's continue. Now that we learned a little bit about casting, let's have a 5-minute break. It started. That was supposed to start on click. Okay, I'll start the timer soon. I just need to work on other stuff, so I'm just gonna share my PowerPoint screen. Okay. Oh, it stops the timer as soon as I turn it off. Okay. So once the clock goes around 5 times, the break's over. Yeah, it was 7 minutes last time, but I couldn't program the clock to go more than 7 minutes. More than 5 minutes.
Raghav, you know that code I put in the chat?
Yeah.
It actually works. I did some random person on Ruffle just I was just browsing and I saw this.
Oh, Rapulale, I know what you did. Yeah. You can go and look at other people's repos, like public repos.
I'll just send you the link to this.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
That's actually good code.
It is.
It's
Whoever did
really,
it.
yeah, it's really good code.
Yeah. Whoa. It says, "What's your character name?" I'm just gonna say Jeff. And then it says Jeff enters a dark cave searching for an adventure.
Yeah. You wanna know something? You guys are
Yeah.
gonna know how to do this.
We are.
I mean, not the entire thing, but like you're gonna know the basics of it.
Okay. This game is
It takes a lot of effort, though. A lot of effort. If I show you my code, you guys are gonna be super shocked.
okay.
Like, you have to write this much code for such a simple program. You'd be like that.
Yeah, this game is broken. After it says Jeff enters a dark cave, searching for an adventure, it just says Jeff doesn't understand the suggestion. Jeff doesn't understand the suggestion. Then it just keeps on saying that.
Oh no, that's because you probably inputted something wrong. It's okay. I'll just show you my program guides after for fun, in case some of
Okay.
you want to see what you're gonna be able to do. I mean, you won't be able to do everything, but you'll be able to do most of it.
Will we be able to make a maze game?
No, you won't learn. You won't learn graphics really because Python isn't focused on
Oh
graphics.
no
Like,
no. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Never mind.
I mean,
Wait.
like,
Did you do it in Java?
I mean, I do Java, but like, it's been a long time.
Like
But
a
you can,
year?
yeah, no, not like a year, just like 6 months.
Okay. Half a year.
I've been focusing back to Python again because, I mean, I'm learning HTML even though I already know a lot of it.
Yep.
But I'm currently trying to learn C++ because,
Cool.
Google wants that. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get a job already, but they're like, nope.
Already? Already?
No, no, not a job, like an
Yeah.
internship.
Okay.
All my friends have one.
So where's
Then
your code?
I'll show it at the end of class.
Okay.
What's going on? Oh, it stopped because I switched screens. Wow. Okay. I'll just tell you guys when we'll stop the timer. We'll stop. We'll continue class at 4:45.
Okay.
Roblox. Wow. Remember to talk about Roblox in chit chat, guys. Because the meeting chat's only for questions. Um, okay, the break is almost over. Just a couple of more seconds. And boom. Okay, let's get started right back into class, guys.
It's still 4:44 for me. Just 5 seconds.
Really? It shows 4:45 for me. Time zone.
Oh, now it's 4:45.
Yeah.
Two
Time
more
zone different.
seconds. Okay, yeah, done.
Okay, everything's different now.
Wait, how does me and Tony have a different time zone? He's literally right next door. Okay.
Who? Wait, who?
You.
Me?
Oh, I mean Tony.
Oh. Tony Stark, duh.
Okay, okay, let's continue class. I'll share my screen again and my video.
It's me.
That's his nickname. Oh. Okay, so now let's dive deeper into list, which was one of the data types we learned about in our first week. This connects to data types like string and integer, you know. And we'll also learn a little bit about tuple, but they're kind of the same thing, I guess, so doesn't. Wait. So we're gonna dive deeper. Let me share my entire screen. Why do I keep sharing one screen? You can see my entire screen, right? Okay, now let's just hash all these because we don't want them right now. You know what? I'll teach you guys some tricks in REPL after class also. We have lots of time today. That's what it feels like. One sec, I have to check something. I think I made a mistake. Oh. So lists. You guys know about these, right? They're basically brackets and you can store multiple variables in them. Not variables, like data types. So this is basically the grocery list that your mom cannot change. Wow, I like that metaphor. So let's say, okay, let's just quickly review the difference between list and tuple again, because some people might not remember it. So let's say this is, let's make a variable called tuple so you guys know which is which. A tuple. And your mom gave you a grocery list. These items. Only apples, flour, and eggs. Sorry, let me put one there. Oh, that's weird. Oh, indent. Whoops. But this is not changeable. You cannot change it from the output screen. Meanwhile, let's say your mom gave you the same list, but she never specified that you can't change anything. So if you want, while you're in the output screen, you can go and change this to whatever you want, like bubblegum, why not? Or maybe microwave pizza. And maybe some candy. That's basically a list. Is a tuple you can't change it, a list you can. What, sorry, brackets are wrong. Any questions? On unmute. Yeah, Miss Lucy.
Okay. How are they changed in the output screen?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We're gonna learn that just right now. Okay, so let's say you have a list called grocery list. Let's just say groceries. I can't even spell right now. There. Let's make it into a list with, let's say, eggs. Important. Flour. That's good for the eyes. Maybe some yogurt. Sure. How about an apple? So what you can do from the output screen is, let's say you want to take out eggs and put it with something else. So in the output screen, you have to get an input. So basically, inputs, let's just learn them right now because we can do that. Actually, wait. I don't think I should teach you guys input yet because that's a little bit advanced, I guess. Yeah, so I'll teach you guys how to do it from the output screen later. Yes, Shreyans?
I know what inputs are. It's basically like a print statement, except you can type like a whatever you want, and then you can put like a if statement. Like you can put if they say this,
Yeah,
then you can
yeah,
stuff.
that's correct. Inputs are basically the interaction between the user and you. Like right now, I'm teaching you guys how to give info to the user, but inputs are how the user gives info to you. Learn inputs later. I don't think we have lots to learn about lists and we don't have that much time. So I'll teach you guys how to change it from the output screen later, but first I'll teach you guys how to change it. So let's say you have groceries. What you gotta do is do groceries. Let's say you're trying to add something to a list. You have to put a dot to access all the functions of groceries, like adding things into a list, removing things from a list, finding out which place an item is in the list. So you have to do groceries dot. That's how you access every single function, every single way you can interact with the list. So put a dot right after it, and then just find out which one you want. Like this gives you suggestions. Look at how many functions there are with this list. And I don't know all of them. No one knows. No one can. It takes a long time to find out what every single one is. So append is the function we're looking for right now. It's to add into list. Let's say add into list. So you have to do append. I recommend you guys take notes and definitely follow along in the report. This is very more confusing. Yes?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So the difference between a tuple and a list, is it that lists use the brackets while tuples use the parentheses?
I mean, obviously, yeah, but there's a lot more tuples.
Yeah, like when we're inputting. I mean, when we're coding.
I mean, yeah, that's the difference in coding, but there's.
Okay.
Are you asking for like the functional difference? Like.
No, just the.
Okay, yeah. So pay attention and follow along in Uppo. This is super confusing. Like this stuff is easy, like super duper easy when you compare it to this stuff. So append, you put it so that appending is basically adding into the list a new variable, and then you type what the value is. You can type a variable, or or a string, or the integer, like directly what it is. Let's say I wanna append the word, like, oh no, my mom forgot to add this to the grocery list. Then you add what it was. Let's say milk. She forgot to add a gallon of milk. So once you do this, so let's see what the list looks like when you, at the beginning. Yes, you can print lists like directly, and you can print specific values from a list, but I'll teach you guys later today. Now let's print groceries, like what it's before you add that value into the list. So this is before you add it, and this is after. See, this is before that value was added. This is after. So when you do append, it adds an object to the end of a list. Literally, it says it right there. It adds to the end of the list. If you want to add to a specific point in the list, there's another function called insert. But we learned that like soon. So that's how you add into a list. Any questions on adding into a list? I mean, a lot of you probably have questions about lists in general, but anything about adding into a list. I didn't even check the time. I just want to see the time. Oh, 4:56 already. I have a feeling lists are going to take a long time to teach. So, as I said in the PowerPoint, we're not going to learn everything about lists today. We're going to learn more about lists as we go on. So now that we know about appending in a list, let's learn about printing a specific value from a list. So let's take this exact same scenario. Let's try printing a value from a list. So basically the values in a list, to find out which one of them, so anyone guess what number value this is in the list? Just guess. Someone just shout it out.
0.
Okay, you know Python already. Not allowed to talk. But yeah, it's 0. I was expecting people to say 1. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I already know Python, so.
Yeah, so many people know Python already, but yeah, this just helps. So eggs is 0. So how many values are in this list right now?
5.
That's what you think, but according to Python, it's 4. It counts eggs as a value, but I mean, it only counts these as values. You can't print eggs because it's, I mean, you can print eggs, but you have to count it as value 0. So there's 5 values, but one of them doesn't have a specific value to it. It's just nothing, according to Python. So let's print. So what do you think we're gonna have to print to get flour? Someone just raise your hand. I'm gonna. Anyone? What do you think we get when you print? What do you think we have to print in order to print the word flower? Raise your hand.
Print append, and then
No. Append is for adding into a list.
yeah.
Okay, should I just show you guys? You print 1 because flower is the first value in the list. This is the 0 value in the list, but this is the first value. So if you print groceries 1, it prints flower. If you print 2, it prints carrots. Groceries 3, yogurt. What about groceries 0? Eggs. What about groceries -1? Anyone got an answer for that?
Nothing? I mean, error?
No. It prints the last value in the list. That's super confusing, right? Because why is it just going back to the end of the list? So what do you think it prints when it's -2?
Apples?
No,
Who?
yogurt.
Yogurt?
Yes, because
sure.
it so basically value 0 is eggs. So negative, let's put this as a number line, except it's a pattern, I guess. Let's put this as a pattern on a number line. So if it's a pattern, you know what? This is super hard to explain for me, so I'm gonna do something quite simple. Let me quickly stop sharing my screen. I'm just gonna share a Microsoft whiteboard. Actually, no, I'll just open a whiteboard so I can go at the same time. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me share my entire screen now. Okay. So you can see my Microsoft whiteboard, right?
No, we just see your logo.
I think it's loading.
Yeah, that's all we see. We see your logo.
Oh yeah.
Now it's
Now it's turned black.
Now it seems black. Okay, we can see your REPL.it, not your whiteboard. Oh, and your whiteboard.
Oh yeah, and your whiteboard on the side too.
Okay, that's good. Sorry, I use whiteboard for math, so that was some of my math homework. So let's see. Let's treat this list as a number line. So obviously you guys think that a list is basically dot 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 a list, right?
It's lagging a lot.
But-
I can't see anything.
It's
One
frozen.
second.
It's frozen. Yeah, it's like frozen. Nothing
Yeah,
is.
it's frozen.
I see like -9.
Oh, I can
Can
see
you
it now.
guys
I can see it.
see?
I can
Oh yeah, now I can see your drawing. I see it.
Okay. So this is a list, right? That's what you guys think is a list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that in Python, that's not a list. It's an infinite number line. And if this is eggs, flour, carrots, yogurt, and apples,
It froze again.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a lot of lag. But
Yeah. And your voice is sort of laggy.
I know.
Yeah, it's kind of like glitchy. Yeah. It's like you're talking in like from your throat, sort of.
turning off. I'll try turning off my video. Now is it lagging as much?
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, you can see this, right? So this is eggs, flour, carrot, yogurt, apples, right? What's here? It's the same thing. It's a pattern, according to according to Python. So it's just a pattern, an endless pattern of EFCYA, EFCYA, again and again. So this is 0. So if you print 0, you get eggs, right? So that's why when we printed -2, we got yogurt. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Yeah, that's why we got yogurt. -1 is A. C is -3. So basically carrots. So it's an infinite number line, guys, with the same pattern repeating over and over again. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we put -4, what's going to happen?
Oh, we get flour.
Yes. What about -5?
We get eggs again.
Yeah, because -5 is eggs. Okay, so now let's try some math. So you know that E is gonna be every fifth number, right? And F is gonna be every fourth number, and C is gonna be every third number. Y is gonna be every second number. So what do you think is gonna be the value? Groceries, -50.
Eggs.
Eggs.
No, because the list is only endless for a specific. Wait, I'm sorry, I messed up. That's for something totally different. The list is not actually endless. It's only the size of what the original list is. So it's -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the only part. So these are the negatives, these are the positives. Sorry, that's supposed to be a 4. My handwriting is horrible right now because I'm trying to write with my stylus. So this isn't even part of the list. So how many values are in the list? 5, right? So the number of values here can only be 10. 10 total values that you can choose from to print. So let's see. What would happen if you printed -4?
Flour.
Ah.
Yep, correct, flour. So now you know how the list works, right? Like how to print from the list. What if you did this? No idea, because colon, we've never used that before. It prints the entire list excluding 0 and 1. But actually, you know what? I'm not going to teach you guys that yet. It's not. I'm not going to teach you guys that yet. So now you know how to print in lists. Okay, let's hash that. We didn't learn everything about lists, but we've learned what we need to know at this stage. We're going to learn a lot more next class, but right now we don't have enough time for learning more. So, any questions about what we learned so far? Okay, I guess no questions then. 1 second. Now, let me just share a quick Kahoot. I didn't make it because I didn't have enough time to create a Kahoot because I had lots of school homework today, including an essay, which was super hard. So, I'm just gonna share a Kahoot. Like I'll look for a custom Kahoot and share it to you guys. Just give me like a few minutes. If I can't find one, we can just move on.
Are we going to do homework review next?
Yeah, after the Kahoot. Or if we can't do the Kahoot, we'll not do that, and I'll just share one of the stuff I did. What just happened? What was that sound?
I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
it's called sticky keys when you press too many keys at once.
Yeah.
Then it
Oh wait,
comes up
sticky
as
keys is where you press it 5 times, I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
what's
is a
that?
beep sound.
Okay, we're not doing the Kahoot. It's not working.
No.
It's okay. I can show you guys one of the repos I did, like, after my few Python classes that I took when I was, like, 2 years ago.
Wait, what Kahoot would we have done if it worked?
A Kahoot, about what we learned. But that I'm thinking we can do that, next week.
Well, I have an account.
What?
That means he can make it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm gonna do it next week anyways, because I was thinking it's not... I was thinking we could have a fun challenge, like, because halftime, you know? Halftime of classes. So we'll do it next week.
I'm pretty
Besides,
sure it's more than half of class is done.
no, we have 8 classes.
Oh, I thought you meant like the time. Like
Oh,
it's
no.
5:10. I thought you meant like at 4:45.
Oh, no. I mean, like, half of all 8
Halftime of
weeks.
the
Yeah. Halftime
before
of 5.
a test. Before a test.
Our final test is on week 8. So,
Wait, or final like that the end of PyCamp?
yeah, the end of PyCamp test is at week 8. So,
Oh.
okay, let me just we'll do practice pickouts, and then homework info, and then I'll show you my, what's it called, that repo that I made. So let me share my screen again. Wow, it's so tough navigating Teams right now. So you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's practice what we learned with some practice pickouts. If you already don't know what practice... Okay, Ritik, I think it's come... Actually, no, I think it's come from Lionel's
Oh.
side.
Oh.
Wait,
No,
what
I think it's
now?
coming from Ritik's.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, it's Ritik's.
yeah, it's Ritik. Oh god.
Ritik, I suggest you go on mute.
Oh.
Yeah, I muted him.
Oh, that hurts a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I'll just.
It's really ear raping.
Okay, let's do practice pickouts. I ask questions. I just pick on people and ask questions and then answer, hopefully. So, Vivan, what's the difference between a list and a tuple? There's a lot of people I didn't hear from today. I'm super surprised though. Like, there's people who usually talk who aren't talking, and I'm like, wow.
Wait, I kind of have a question.
Yes?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't unmute. What was that thing?
What's the difference between a list and a tuple?
So like, uh, like a list has like a size. It like can't go too much, and like a tuple can go a lot.
No, that's not it. A tuple can't be changed, but a list can be changed. I think you understood the context wrong. Maybe you
I
can
can
watch the
barely
class.
hear you.
Oh, that's weird. I think maybe you should watch the class recording to see what we learned again.
What?
I think you should watch the class recording to see what we learned again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ritik, what's your question? Okay, can you just type it in the chat? Yeah, okay, Lionel?
So like you remember how I think you chatted me that like you can see my homework page or something?
Yeah,
I sent
okay.
it to you, but like I don't know what happened.
Mm,
Did you
yeah,
get it?
I think you just forgot to give me access to it. It happened before to Miss Losi.
I don't know. Shransh was telling me how to do it. I had no idea. It was my first time.
Wait, I don't know who you are. One second, let me see. What's the problem? Miss Losi, what's your question?
I was wondering if you could go over again how the negatives work. Like I get that the first thing in the list is 0, right? But
Yeah.
then how did the negatives work?
Yeah, I'll go over them. One sec. Lionel, the problem is that
Yeah.
you didn't do the homework. It's not that I can't see. You did it. You did the coding part of it, but you didn't do the context
Wait,
questions.
what? I did. I think. Yeah, I
Um,
did them. Here, let me go and open my Word and see.
yeah. Oh, okay. You did them, but you didn't share the Word doc to me. You just shared the link to the repo.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you just forgot to share the Word doc. Yeah. So now let me just quickly go back over the negative numbers. Um, my screen is taking a long time to share. Oh, okay. I think I can just explain it. Yeah, so basically the negative numbers, think it as a number line. And like it's a pattern. Like let's say that if the list is eggs, flour, carrots, apples, if you type in -1, it goes to apples because think of the instead of numbers on the number line, like instead of X, Y, Z in the number line, it's actually I'll just share a Microsoft whiteboard again. It's super hard to explain by mouth. Actually, Miss Losi, we don't have enough time right now. Can I stick with you after class and explain it?
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, okay. So we finished practice pickouts. Homework info. Okay, let's quickly go to homework info. Let me share my entire desktop. Of course, it won't let me open anything as soon as I start sharing, so let me open the Word doc first. I'm sorry, I'm getting questions. Let me just check what they are. Okay, now let me share my screen. Wow, we learned a lot today though. We learned about variables, casting, lists. Wow. So, homework review. So, I have a couple of context questions. I don't think I need to tell you guys what it is. It's just 3 questions and you guys will find out. So, coding, I haven't decided what to give you guys because a lot of people were having lots of trouble with the coding part. So, I wanted to wait and hear your opinion on what I could give you guys. Let's quickly review what we learned in class. We learned variables. So, how about first you have to define a variable called a. A. Then you have to print the variable. Kind of simple. I'm just gonna make this a little simple because many people have problems with coding part. Then how about you have to do the same for do same and print the variable. It can be or string. String. Okay, you have to print the variable. After printing variable, you have to make a variable called b and set it to a different data type with the same value as a. Casting. And after you do that, make a variable called C. It should be a list. Print the third value from the list. And the list should have 5 values. I think that's pretty good. Anyone think this is a little too hard? So an example output could be, it just prints variable a, right? So let's say 13, and then you change it to 13.0. And it prints a value from a list called, I don't know, eggs. Let's tab that. Oh, no. Anyone think this is a little too confusing? Just raise your hand. Okay, I guess everyone's good with it then. So now, since I actually did the homework assignment in front of you, you guys probably understand how to do it. A lot of people are putting snips, but I don't think some people are attaching the URL link. So from now on, it would be helpful if you did that. So that's it for class. I'm gonna stick behind for Miss Losi. Also, I'm gonna, for people who are super interested, with seeing the REPL that I was talking about, that you guys should be able to do the basics of at the end. Just stick around. So I'm gonna share the REPL now. You guys are gonna be blown away. So I'll just quickly explain the REPL's what it's basically while I'm talking. So basically the REPL is it's a simulation. It's a simulation of a shop. Simulation like biryani, vada. It's just Indian food, but I can just change the names into any food. Actually, currently I have a friend's dad who's running a restaurant, and he asked me to be the backbone for his company app. So I'm actually currently working on the program to add some graphics into it and stuff using 2 languages. But I'll just show you the backbone of the program that I coded when I was 2 years ago, actually. Let me show it. So let me look through my posts. It's super old. I had to remake it, but it's still old after I remade it. What is it? I think it's in random web posts. It's not supposed to be called biryani box. Yeah. I remade it 9 days ago
Oh,
because
what's the Among Us one?
what?
The Among Us one.
Oh yeah, that's for something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Tony, and Tony knows about it. Anyways, this is the REPL. 2091. Okay. Ow. So I'll just run it. I'll just run it right now. It's only 91 lines of code, and it used to be 500, but I spent a lot of time shortening it so that people would get at least a little bit of understanding about it. So this is the simulation. What's my name? My name's Raghav. Hi Raghav, welcome to my South Indian cuisine. Here's the menu. And this is a menu of what I can buy, and then it tells me to choose the item number. Let's say I want some masala tea. I choose item number 5, and it asks how many would I like. So how many items do I want? Let's say I want 2 masalas tea. One for me and one for my friend. Okay, that 2222, this entire thing is a bug that I forgot to fix. I'll fix that eventually. So the total price of all the items is $4. As you can see, the masala tea is $2, so it outputted correctly. And it asks, do I want to keep on shopping? Yes. Now let's say I want some vada. And I don't know. Okay. Now I'll just do 3, 1 sec. Now it prints a receipt of how much the entire all items cost together, and then how much inventory I have left in the shop. I have 100 of each item in the shop. So right now we took 3 vadas and 2 masalas. So it's perfectly outputting it. And this is not what was hard. This is just the backbone. I added flesh into it. Like, what if I ask for my name? I mean, what if I ask for how many items do you want, and I just put ASDFK? It's gonna print error, right? Anyone? Do you think it's gonna print error if I just put?
Someone's name might be ASDFK.
No, not in the name column. In the how many items do you want?
It's not gonna work.
That's what
Yeah,
you
it's gonna
think.
be syntax error, I think.
Exactly. That's what it would have been if I didn't provide backbone to it. 1 sec. I'm gonna have to reload the page because look, this program's a little too big and REPL is suffering from it. I provided backbone to the program, so let's continue with Raghav. 1 sec. Oh, sorry, I typed it over here. That's weird. Okay, it says to choose from menu item. What if I print blah 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 blah? Udwo. See, it doesn't come as an error because I back so that it prints. Please enter the correct number. Now, even for this one, I printed back. Well, how many samosas do I want? Well, I want red. See, it says wrong type because I provided backbone to the program. This is actually super hard because it's easy, but it takes hours and hours to do it. So this is what you guys will be able to do most of this eventually in the end of 8 weeks. Most of this. You'll be able to do these things. Definitely, obviously, these things. Input. If statements, yeah. Elif statements, yeah. You won't be able to do these because this is kind of hard, and this will be complex, and these will be like after the 8 weeks if anyone wants to continue, you know, like actual official classes. So, any questions? Yeah.
Did you use any lists and tuples in this?
Let me look. this isn't a list. It's a dict, which you guys will learn. But let me look for a list. I should have at least one list. No, I only use dictionaries. Wow. That's weird. I mean, this is a type of list, so I didn't actually use any list in tuple. Wow. I use dictionaries only. I didn't use any list in tuple. We learn about dictionaries too tomorrow. Ah. But I obviously used printing. Sorry. I obviously used printing statements and inputs, which you guys are going to learn. And I used a special type of taking from a list, stock.get, except it's not a list, it's a dict. So a dict, a tuple, they all have different functions. Not every data type has the same function. Like not list is the only data type that even has the function called append. So you guys will learn more about it as it goes on. So that's all. Thanks for joining. Any final questions about the class? I'll stop recording.
Just, are you putting the homework in now since you just finished it, or?
Yeah, I'll put